All right, y'all. I'm trying this one more time. This has been a crazy morning. This is the third time I'm trying to finish this live between buffering and phone calls and having to pick up paintings. I just left Michael's. I had to pick up a painting that I got framed for a client. It's beautiful. I should show it to y'all. I should show it to you. It's been crazy. Okay, looks like this is going to buffer again. So today's not my day. So in the last live, I was talking about feelings of inadequacy. And I was inspired to do the video because you ladies are coming in my inbox. You're sending me emails and your stories are so similar. All of you are having the same issues. All of you are having the same issues with your self-image and how people are perceiving you and the feedback that you're getting from people based on their perception of you. And it's unfortunate because you think that the perception, the opinion of other people seals your fate in your life. An opinion that someone has of you doesn't seal your fate unless they are the source of whatever it is you're trying to achieve. If they're the gatekeepers to your money, to your success or whatever, then that's an issue. But just an opinion, someone who has an opinion, a thought, a feeling about you, people are going to have that all day, every day, all day, twice on Sundays. That's never going to change. It's never going to change. How do you maneuver around it? How do you get around it? Can you get around it? You can't. You can't. Right now, somebody will watch my video and call me a monkey. Somebody will watch the replay and say I have a horse face. Somebody will watch it a month from now and say I'm not attractive enough, which makes me unqualified to uplift women. Some people will watch this live and say you're a dark-skinned woman. You have self-esteem issues. You're self-conscious. You really aren't in a position of leadership, of guidance, or whatever. Who do you think you are? I've gotten that, and I get that, and I will get that in the future. Does it define me? No. No. Why? Because I'm living on my purpose. I'm deciding what I'm going to call myself. I'm deciding what my life is going to be. I decide that. I give myself a title. I give myself a label. I don't wait for the Queen of England to knight me. That's not how this show rolls. I don't wait for anybody to certify me in anything. Nothing. Why don't I wait? Maybe it is the sum total of all the experiences and all the rejection that I had in my life that made me realize, okay, people are fair weather friends. They do things based on how they feel about themselves. This is the conclusion I had to come up with. People treat you nice because they feel nice about themselves. People treat you badly because they feel badly about themselves. People treat you a certain way based on their fears. Their fear of rejection, their fear of loss. So when I realize that what somebody gives me isn't stable, it's never going to be stable, whether it's your man or your mother. It's never going to be like this. It's always going to be up and down. You said I have a donation for you, Salkis, but the buffering is causing an error message to appear when I try to donate. Please stream again when the reception is better. Well, I'm not, can you see me now? I'm not buffering now. You should be able to, Tia, try it again, because I think I'm not buffering right this second. Catch it now, girl. See if you can do it now. Or you can use the link. I have a Cash App link in the description of this live. either Cash App or PayPal. Both of them I have in the description, so you can use one of those too if you don't want to do the super chat. But I'm not buffering right this second, so please try one more time. If not, just use one of the links in the description of this live. I literally get comments daily from men and women that I am very beautiful, but unfortunately I don't feel like that at all. I have been used and damaged by men at only 23. Sometimes I feel hopeless, like a hopeless case. Well, Moonlight, what it is that every experience you've had obviously shapes reality to a certain extent for you. But your experience isn't reality. It isn't the status quo, let's say. Just because you've been treated poorly doesn't mean you deserve to be treated poorly. What could be happening is you lack discernment and you don't know how to judge people based on your self-esteem issues. That's what I'm finding too. A lot of struggle with discernment issues. We don't know how to read people because we are unsure of ourselves. The only way, or the way to develop a good sense of reading people, is when you stop lying to yourself. I mean, I need to put it on a t-shirt. I really need to put it on a t-shirt because we want things to be rocket science. We want things to be salacious. We want things to be complicated. Ladies, let me tell you something that I've learned in my life. Truth is simple. Truth is simple. The truth is always black and white, and lies are always gray. That is what I've come to know in this journey, in this walk, and in the walks I have to come. But as of this date, I understand that truth is always simplistic. When you want to hide something, that's when things get complicated. When you're not telling the truth, that's when things get complicated. When you want to conceal something, you put it in a riddle. A riddle is nothing but distractions. A sequence of words created in a way where it doesn't make any sense. The answer is there, but you put it scrambled. You're confusing me. Lies are always confusing, but truth is very simple. When you stop lying to yourself about what you feel, about what you think, about who you are, about what you like and don't like about yourself, it will relax you. A lot of you have tension, anxiety, unsure. You're unsure. Buenos tardes, bonita, hermana, ¿cómo está? Oh my God, all the Spanish speakers. You practicing your Spanish? Well, keep doing it. I need to learn Spanish too. I'd be a bad mamma jamma if I knew Spanish fluently. Oh my God. What I couldn't do. So that's the thing. That's the lesson here is, the takeaway from this live is, from this day forward, I want you to commit to being honest about your feelings about yourself. I want you to evaluate your feelings about yourself, not what people think of you. We got that clear already. You know what they think of you. I want you to sit down and make a conscious effort to evaluate how you feel about yourself, independent of what anybody else's thought is. And it's going to be really difficult for a lot of you to do, because your opinion about yourself is based totally on what other people think. How you evaluate yourself is you're going back in your mental Rolodex. Well, he treated me good. This thing worked out here. You know, I was able to do this with such and such and such and such. So I guess I'm smart, or I guess I'm pretty, or I guess I deserve that. That's how you're quantifying, based on what you've gotten or the results you've gotten from other people. That's how you quantify yourself. This is why, you know, you're just floating in the breeze. You're just up and down, floating in the breeze. Nothing's consistent. Because let me tell you something. Nobody that has feelings for you is going to be consistent. There will be days where they don't want to be with you, where they feel like they made a mistake, where they just feel frisky. They feel like they want to abuse you a little bit. This is human nature. This is human nature. So if you are depending on the thoughts and emotions and feelings of other people to evaluate your existence, you are always going to be disappointed. You're always going to be disappointed. You're always going to be unstable, I should say. Unstable emotionally. What are we reaching for here? What is the goal for us as women? To be stable emotionally. Because in emotional stability, do you know how intelligent you become when you're emotionally stable? Some of you think it's in a degree, a book, some institution. You think some institution validates you. Oh, it went through. Thank you. Thank you, Tia, for your donation. You waiting for validation through an institution, through a coalition, through I don't know, a sisterhood, through a man, through I don't know. You call whatever you want. Your parents, whatever it is. Whatever it is. And it's always going to be wishy-washy. It's always going to be, well, gosh, I think you loved me a little more yesterday than you did today. Why are you so nasty to me? Why are you so mean to me? Why are you not giving me what I want? Stop expecting people to love you. How about that? Stop expecting people to feel a certain way about you. That's the next thing. We walk around so entitled. So entitled. We have a problem with that too. You feel like everybody got to be nice to you. No, everybody don't have to be nice to you. Everybody don't have to like you. Everybody don't have to think you're beautiful. Everybody don't have to think you're intelligent. Nobody has to think anything about you. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody. That's the harsh reality of this life. Nobody owes you anything. Oh, I put in all this time. So, feelings change. In an instant, feelings change. So you have to approach it like, well, it's going to be hard pressed. Feelings are unstable. I understand, I'm winning today, and I accept it. I accept it. And if I'm not winning tomorrow, I accept it too. But you don't put yourself in a position where you think you're nothing. Where you think we have a problem with that. We have a problem with that. Thank you, Moonlight. Thank you for your donation. You're always going to be a woman with no spine if you're chasing attention. This is why I call myself an ugly girl. You know why I call myself an ugly girl? Because it grounds me. It frees me from, I wonder what they think of me. Oh, I wonder if I'm cute today. Or why nobody ain't looking at me. It frees me. It frees me. This is what you want. Emotional stability. How do you get it? By understanding that nobody owes you anything. You don't have to think I'm beautiful. And I don't care if you do. I don't care if you don't. I don't care if you do or don't. Why? Because I'm free. I'm free. In contrast to that, how a woman's life is designed, on average, we're designed to seek attention. We're designed to seek attention and adoration because being able to master that means that you won't be alone. That some man will see you from across a crowded room and say, wow, look at Cinderella over there. I have this glass slipper for her. I'm going to make her an honest woman. I'm going to give her my last name, and I'm going to protect and provide for her. So we've all been indoctrinated to, as long as we're beautiful, the Cinderella story. And every nursery rhyme, every fairy tale we know of, it's a girl looking beautiful, and she wins the prince. All she has to do is be beautiful, and she wins. It's a happily ever after thing. But that's not real. That's not real life. I did a post yesterday with the breakdown of The Wizard of Oz and Dorothy's character in The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy, as all heroes, and you can name it, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, no matter what it is, right? Every superhero is an orphan. Every single one. Star Wars, Luke Skywalker ain't had no parents. Who else? All of them. So Dorothy was an orphan too. She lived with her aunt. She lived on a farm somewhere. Everybody else looked dingy, and she was in her, that pretty, blue and white plaid dress. She didn't want to get herself dirty. She felt a little out of place. She felt awkward, out of place. She felt unsure of herself. Right? Fast forward, running after Toto, Twister comes, and she's trying to find herself. Finds the scarecrow. He ain't got no brain. She was like, the Wiz will give you a brain. Come on with me. Let's go. Let's go get your powers. Find a Tin Man. Tin Man didn't have a heart. Scooped him up too. The lion didn't have courage. She was able to show him how he had courage. But to me, the way I was analyzing the story was that these were all parts of herself that she had to discover. She didn't realize she had courage. She didn't realize how expansive her heart was. She didn't realize how big of a heart she was, because she was upset about her condition, about where she was living. She couldn't relate to her aunt. Everybody was old and dingy around her, so she didn't appreciate her surroundings or anything. So the only thing she loved was that damn dog Toto. So her heart was able to expand going on her journey through the yellow brick road. She realized that she had intelligence in her journey, in her trials, when she had to think on her feet and save her friends. And then towards the end, all the trials that she went through, because she didn't realize that she was expanding. She didn't realize that she was getting better, that she was sharpening herself, that she was becoming a woman. And it wasn't until the end, when she realized the Wiz didn't have no power, that she was able to come into her own. When Glenda was like, look, listen, you had the power all along. Isn't that what Glenda said? Glenda said, you could have went home any time you wanted. And she didn't realize that. You could have went home any time you wanted. You had the power to go all this time, Dorothy. And it wasn't until she was scammed, she realized that, okay, so you really couldn't get me there? I did all of this and went through all of this. Almost got killed. Had to think on my feet and all this stuff. All these trials. All this to come to you, and you couldn't help. You couldn't save me. The analogy is befitting of all of us. Because Dorothy is all of us, ugly girl. Dorothy is you. You're an outcast. You don't fit in. You don't feel like people acknowledge you. You don't feel like you have value. You don't value where you're at. You disregard those who do love you. Because at the end, Dorothy realized that there's no place like home, right? She realized there's no place like home. She realized the value that she always had. Now I see. After developing my smarts, my bravery, and my heart, I realized the treasure that I've always had around me. That's us. Dorothy is us. Dorothy is you, insecure girl. Dorothy is you, Miss, I'm only a 5 or a 4. You know, they told me I'm only a 2. My mother told me I was ugly and all of that. Whatever it is. You have the power to change yourself right now. You're deciding to be weak. You're deciding to be vulnerable. It's a decision. It's a decision. A lot of the choices that we make are reinforced by the results that we get. So if the woe is me gets someone to pay attention to you, then you keep doing it. Even though you don't want to be a woe is me. You don't want to be a vulnerable, insecure woman. But the first time somebody goes, "Oh, Tracy, what's wrong? Oh, girl, come here. Girl, don't even worry about that, girl. You know, he ain't for you. Somebody else gonna come along, girl. Don't even worry about that. That dude, this and that. Listen, we gonna get you somebody else. Don't even, girl, let's go get a drink. You wanna go? Let's go get wasted. Let's go. Come on, let's go get a pie and get some liquor and forget about that. I know this dude down the block. And there it goes. So not only do you have someone's attention, they're soothing you, they're feeding you, literally and figuratively, lies to fatten you up, to fatten where the holes are in your heart, and fatten your waistline too with the cakes and the cookies and the liquor that you don't need. And that's the pattern that starts. So all that reinforcement felt good. You came out of your desperation for a little bit. You felt a little less lonely. You felt like you belonged. You felt like somebody loved you because they showed you pity. They displayed pity and some semblance of care. So you realize, me doing this, I get a free meal. If I play pity, I can get me a free drink. And here you are on Facebook or anywhere that got some ears to listen to your sob story. Here you go. Girl, what's wrong? And then it happens again. Girl, don't even worry about him. You better than that. You was too good for him anyway. You know, all the lies that women tell each other. Thank you, Alexandra. Appreciate the donation. Isn't that what we do? We reinforce lies to each other. That's what we do. So before you know it, by the time the second time hit, you got a pattern that just formed. Where your pity gets a certain result. And now you identify, the pain now becomes your identity. You're identifying with that pain. It's now reinforced, and now it's a part of your character. So anytime you have a free moment of 5 minutes, somebody's going to hear your sob story. Somebody's going to hear it. Because now that's what you are. That's what you are. Talk to me. This is what I do for a living. I am a life coach, right? I take this role extremely seriously. I do this because I understand what pain is. I understand what degradation is. I understand what ostracism is. I understand being on the outside looking in. I understand being an underdog. I understand being thought of as a monkey, been mistaken for a man, thought of as less than, thought of as I'll give you 25 cents. That's all you worth, and you better be lucky that I'm paying attention to you. You better be lucky I want to give you this beefcake right here. This is all I got for you right here, and you better be lucky I'll give you that. I understand all of that. So my mission in life is to help you understand that you don't need to go there. That you don't need to mingle in the muck, in the mire, in the miasma that people give you to subjugate you. Why would anybody mistreat you? What is the profit in making you feel less than? Access. If I make you feel less than, then I get what I want from you without resistance. I get what I don't deserve from you without resistance. I get a pipeline to you where I can use you for whatever resources you provide, and I toss you away. That's the reason anybody would make you feel badly and still want to be in your presence. I'm talking about those two. Make you feel bad and he's still screwing you? He still wants to dig in your cervix? Why? If I'm that disgusting, if I look that bad, if I'm that much of a turnoff, why are you still here? Usury. Usury. And for a lot of us, we're satisfied with usury because, again, we want, something is better than nothing. At least I get a little bit of attention. At least I could pretend that somebody cares, that somebody loves me. I can pretend. There's some value in pretending when really there isn't. There's no value in pretending. It's like I said, you'll end up like Lauren London. Lauren London was pretending for 6 years to be in a relationship, begging on the back end to be official. For him to make it official, he wasn't that type of dude. But he indoctrinated her into thinking that, to want something like that, you're not elevated if you want to contain or possess somebody. You're not an elevated mind if you just want me all to yourself. I'm a free soul. I'm a free spirit. This is what these learned street prophets think. They're not thinking about securing you. They're thinking about experiencing you. Isn't that what Nipsey said? And a lot of us don't fight that because, it sounds logical. It sounds like, we all want, I want to be free. I don't want nobody telling me what to do, So, he's right. You're right. You should be able to come and go and do what you want with me and whoever else you want. You're right, because you were born alone, you'll die alone. Who am I? Who am I? You're a woman. You're not a man. That's number one. And you have to understand, you have to be clear about what that means. What that entails. What ducks have to be in a row because you are a woman and not a man. We have to stop trying to be men. Ugly girl, you have to stop trying to be a man. You got to get as far away from that as you possibly can. Don't let nobody sell you on no feminism stuff. Strong black woman stuff. You need to, anytime someone even mentions that in your vicinity, you got to go up. Go into convulsions. Like, hell no. Are you serious? No way. No way. Because no other species of woman, no other race of woman has that tag on her. And they get what they want. They get what they want, and we get labeled, put a saddle on her back. She's like the Energizer Bunny. She keeps going and going and going. That's what we're synonymous with. Fit to be abused. As an unattractive woman and as an average woman, you need an identity. You need more of an identity than any other type of woman. As unfair as it sounds, it is what it is because you're not living in a bubble. You can't cower down. This is what unattractive women do. Okay, you're the yes girl. All right, okay. You're boring. You're scared to state an opinion. You're scared to be in opposition to anything. You're afraid to state what you want. You can't even ask for what you want. You take what they give you. You have to develop a spine in a feminine way. You have to develop a spine. Now, I'm aggressive on these lives as I talk to you because, I get in my emotions. I get in my feelings and it becomes a sermon of sorts. So I might not be the best example of femininity if you quantify it based on these lives. I cuss, although I'm trying to quell that, so because Google, they'll just flag you anyway. So Google has me arresting my potty mouth. But I do this because this is your therapy session here. This is not how I act in the presence of a man. No. I'm all woman. I'm all woman, light touch, smiles, attentiveness, softness, all that a woman represents. All of that. Even in my cowboy hat and my cowboy boots. I'm all woman. Because I've created a niche for my own self that I'm comfortable representing and that I know can't be found anywhere else. You have to find a way to be extraordinary, my dear. And it's not going to be in your looks. It's just not going to be in your looks. And I don't think it's even a big leap of faith to be extraordinary, to be unlike other women. If you take away the pressure to conform, then you're going to be different. The reason why we're cookie cutter is because we're striving. That's our problem. We're too insistent. And oh my God, this thing keeps buffering. Lord have mercy. Help me out. I'm going to have to go back to pre-recorded stuff. I don't know what is going on. Somebody's trolling in here? Are you a Texas Hold'em player? I don't know what that even means. I don't know what that means. Salkis, do you think you can look at feminine women and be more feminine, or is it simply all mental? What do you mean? Do I think you can look at feminine women, mimic a feminine woman and then become feminine yourself? Is that what you're asking, Lady B? I think you can take examples. I think you can extract, like, I don't really see anything wrong with it. If you see a quality that you admire in somebody, you can adopt that. You can try to carve that into your DNA. It will take work. It takes dedication. Oh, like Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe is bad. She was a bad Mamma Jam. All them girls from her time really exuded femininity. So if that is the route you want to go, and you're willing to put the work in to do it, because it is work, then you do it. It's work. Marilyn Monroe didn't just roll out of bed and, wear jeans and sneakers to the grocery store, things like that. She slayed all the time. But she was used as a sex object too now. She was used and then off when, when they was ready to toss her away. It was like, well, we had our fun. Now it's time for you to go because you know too many secrets. So, there's that. But if you need references, or if you admire someone's characteristics and you want to mimic that, why not? Even then, she still died alone and childless. There you go, bingo. Thanks for saying that, Ivy. There you go. So it goes back to my whole point where our obsession with how we look, we got to be careful with that because there's limitations on that. Looking good won't make you happy, in other words. Looking good won't get you respect. Marilyn Monroe wasn't respected. She was wanted. But the men in her life dogged her out. They dogged that little hole out. Okay? They abused every hole she had. So her looks didn't protect her. It got her to the White House, but it didn't protect her. There's a difference. So watch your obsession with looking a certain way. But wouldn't men look at you weird if you started acting so soft and dainty? What do you mean? Why would a man look at you weird if you started acting soft and dainty? You talking about somebody you're already dating, or I don't understand. How you want to be a certain way, and again, you see what you just did? You went back to social validation again. Well, what are they gonna think? You went straight back to that, lady, like you ain't listen to nothing I just said. Do you see what we do? Your concern wasn't in mastering that. Your concern was, what are they gonna think of me? Then they're not gonna think. Then they're gonna think I'm inauthentic. When the woman you are is what you don't want to be, who cares? If the woman that you are is what you don't want to be, then who cares about authenticity? If you feel like you need to improve, then it would behoove you to improve. You still worrying about what other people say. One day we'll get it together. One day. Her mom and her men made her get abortions. She spoke on it. She said she would have had children. She just wouldn't have believed she'd still be alive today. Her kids would have been her advocates. Yeah. That is true. That is true. She was used. She was exploited. She was exploited like a lot of attractive women are exploited. And this is why I tell you women who are 5s and 4s and I'm not cute. And you crying in the mirror thinking that your life will be so grand if you just look like her. If the average really attractive woman was honest and you had a sit down with her, you would realize there's nothing to be jealous about. And I don't know how many ways to say it. I understand you ladies don't have access to women the way that I do. All pay grades and rating scales from the 10s to the 1s. I have a full spectrum of understanding of us. I study us. I am us. Right? And I know that we are full of you know what. I know the cure is not in the way you look. It can be a tool to open doors, but the cure for you feeling inadequate has nothing to do with the way that you look. It's what you're accepting from other people. It's you running behind other people. Do you like me? I want you to like me. Do you like me a little bit? I got candy. Will you like me then if I give you my candy? This is what we're doing. making offers to people who are not tried and proven, who have not displayed any merit, just so we can belong, so that we don't feel alone and we don't feel fear. And how many of you ladies have been in relationships, or maybe are in a relationship where you're still alone and you're still fearful? There's no stability there. He's not showing any stability, but he's in between. He's digging in your cervix every couple of days. But you don't really know if he's going to be there next year. There's that too. There's that too. So my perspective is, as always, go within. Think of yourself as an island unto yourself. You're standing on an island. It's just you. It's just you. Like, visualize yourself on a deserted island, and it's just you. It's just you and your thoughts. What would you think about yourself then? If there was nobody else around? If there was nobody else to confer with? If there was nobody else to bounce an idea off of, or to seek approval from? What would you think about yourself? I would be okay. You absolutely would. You would be more than okay. You would be more than okay. What if your mom tried to determine who was beautiful and who was not? Mine had 3 girls and only deemed one as beautiful. I just had somebody in my inbox yesterday that said the same thing. Her mother told her she was unattractive. We have a lot of unsupportive mothers, unfortunately, abusive mothers. And like I explained to you all, if y'all been rocking with me for a while, you understand my perspective on women in general. We are evil. We are not as virtuous as we claim to be. We're not as loving as we claim to be. We're not. We love based on opportunity, based on what we getting out the deal. Unconditional love, where's that? There is no such thing. Not even for a mother and child. Not even for a mother and child. The closest thing to unconditional love you will ever experience as a woman is the love you have for yourself. Yourself. That's it. That's it. A lot of you are accidents. Tell the truth and shame the devil. A lot of us were born as accidents. Unplanned, unwanted, but you make do. You know? You make do as a woman. You try your best, pick up the pieces, but if you had to do it all over again, you would have swallowed it. A lot of us are walking around here like that. And you can't make somebody love you, not even your mother if she doesn't. Not even your mother. But look how we've been indoctrinated by our mothers. Why would a mother tell a daughter that she's unattractive? What would be the purpose of that? Why? Why single you out? Although, truth be told, most mothers have a favorite. If you're honest, if you have a couple of kids, you have a favorite, but you keep that in here. You keep it in here. You keep it in here. You don't tell your children that, because you don't want them to feel, like there's a difference. But there's always one that usually your favorite is the one that complies the most, or maybe the one that is the cutest. Listen, this is life, And your mother is just another woman. She is your mother. She pushed you out her pelvis, but she's just another woman with the same fears, the same insecurities, the same self-doubts, the same regrets of mistakes, the same I wish I could do my life over. I wish I never did this. I should have went for that. Why didn't I finish school? I could have had him and then been living such and such. The same things you think you thinking about is the same thing she thinking about, and you thinking, well, that's my mother. She should be this or she should be that. No, you're gonna have to get over that. You're gonna have to because there's nothing else you can do. If your mother didn't care about you, you can't make her care about you. You can't demand somebody to care about you. Just like you can't demand someone to be afraid of you. Like I can't tell you, be afraid of me. You see how stupid that? Like I'm telling you to be afraid of me. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So you can't demand someone to love you either. It's the same thing. That's why I refuse to have children until I'm in a healthy space. I'd say this to you, Ivy. Perfection is not real. And if you're waiting to be like completely healed or completely over or completely beyond any of your scars, any of your past traumas and stuff like that, you'll be waiting a long time. Sometimes the best therapy is bringing another life into the world. Sometimes that is the incentive for you to, you know, pull yourself up, tighten up, because you have another life depending on you. A lot of us will wait and we'll wait and we'll wait and we wait away opportunities. We wait away the best time to do it. And you got to be careful with that too. You got to be careful with that too. Trauma is something like once it's happened to you, it's a part of you. It is a part of you. It's like a dormant virus. Like it goes dormant. What all it takes is a trigger to sort of activate it. That's what trauma is. That's what trauma is. It's always there. It's a part of your anything you experience becomes a part of your genetic makeup. This is why I say you got to be careful who you screwing to, because y'all ladies, Lord have mercy, you tying yourself in. You watering down your jeans with Tom, Joe Schmo, and Harry, and all of them, and that's why you're unstable too. You got all types of genetics running around warring with each other inside your uterus, and you wonder why you're emotionally unstable. So you gotta be careful with this too. You're gonna adopt. Guys, get those thumbs up. Let's support Salkis. Yes, please. All of you in the chat, please thumbs up. Help a sister out. Support the channel. I can't do this without you. There's no reason for me to do this if you don't come. I could be doing something else. I'd rather be doing something else, but I'm here with you. I'm here with you. My soul comes first. No sex for me. Oh, okay, so you're celibate, Sierra? Wonderful. Wonderful. Close the holes. Close all the holes. Stop up all the holes. I think talking about men's insecurities can help women understand why not to be intimidated by them. You need to hear what men are insecure about. So you want to deflect. You don't need to know what they're insecure about. You need to know what you're insecure about. This is what we do. We're always looking for an out. You want to know why you want to know what they're insecure about? So that you don't feel so bad about your bag. So that you don't feel bad about your pathology. So that you don't have to deal or face yourself. At every turn, this is how we show up. We show up deflecting. And we call it all kinds of grandiose names. We got all kinds of convoluted names for it. All kinds of sweet titles for deflecting, for shirking responsibility for ourselves and our emotional well-being. You need to know who you are. You don't need to know what's going on with him. You need to know who you are. Because when you are grounded and you understand how you tick, it doesn't matter what he's coming with. It'll cancel it out. What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What are your triggers? Why do you go after this? Why do you think that? Who told you this? Where did this stem from? We'll always look for an out rather than doing the work. This is collective character flaw of women, to be lazy and irresponsible. We want someone else to be responsible for us. We don't want to do the work. We don't want to do the work. But when you've been wounded, and when you analyze your track record and it doesn't look too good, you have to understand that laziness and not wanting to face yourself and not wanting to make a conscious effort to change your habits, change how you respond to things, is just not, it's not gonna be good for you. You're just gonna continue getting the same results. You don't change until you change. Results don't change until you change, until you do something different. The average woman wants to listen. The average woman really wants you to tell her how to be in her state of mess. How can she function in her state of mess? That's our problem. How to function in our state of... Men are different in that way. They understand transformation. They're all right with wiping the slate clean and tearing themselves down and building themselves back up again. They're all right with it. Women, us, if it causes inconvenience, pain of any sort, if it don't feel good, we don't want to do it. Men will go through pain to be better. Women will not. Women won't. See, but the problem with that is, if you've been used before, my darling, life is telling you that you have to be a certain way. You can't be lazy with it. Men have no problem with constant change and growth. That's how they win. Yeah. Although I had my first child at 19, I had my second child. It has been a healing process with my last two. It's rough being a single mother. And I tell all the ladies, all the young ladies who come here, who are in their 20s, who don't have kids, don't do it. If it's a choice between doing it and not doing it, don't do it. Because you're going to be put into a category where it's going to be a lot of work to prove your worth. It's going to be a lot of work for a man to look past the children that he doesn't want to take care of, or that he has to pretend to like just to dig in between your knees. Relationships are hard enough. Relationships are hard enough. You shouldn't be anybody's girlfriend. That's another thing. Girlfriend, what is that? I tell people on my channel this too. If you're a girlfriend, you're still single. You're still single. You're with a man who hasn't committed to you, who hasn't drawn a line in the sand, who's keeping his options open. That's what girlfriends are. Girlfriends are temporary. I like what you're doing for me right now, and until something better comes along, we can kick it. And that's how you have to see it. Not as you're in a real relationship. Because some of y'all getting caught up thinking you're in a real relationship as a girlfriend and you're having babies. Like if you're in a real relationship, and nothing could be further from the truth. A man ain't no man in your life until he sacrifices. You've already made the sacrifices when you open your knees, you put the nail in the cross. Crucifix your own self. You made the ultimate sacrifice when you open your knees. A man's ultimate sacrifice is signing on the dotted line. And if he ain't doing that, you faking jacks. Although I had them young and I won't be 30 until later on this year, I'm so glad I got this over with in my 20s without a man, because my 30s is going to be all me. You believe that, Miss Jones? It sounds a little rehearsed to me. It sounds like you're convincing yourself. No offense, but that's what I sense. But if you believe that you're glad that you did it when you did it and how it turned out, I'm all for it. Not in support of it here though. But if that is how you really feel, then I 100% give you positive energy on that. We got to be smart though. A lot of trials that we go through are unnecessary. Life is hard enough. Oh my goodness. I've been watching your videos. Oh, you've been binging? Wonderful. I'm glad you're binging. And listen, to all of you who not only are binging, but want to talk to me personally, privately, behind the curtain to get some more black pills for your own situation, hire me. The links are in the description box. I'm not cheap, but I'm effective. It's an investment in the rest of your life, and quite necessary for a whole lot of you. Don't piecemeal this thing, and don't be cheap to yourself, because lessons are pricey. Uh-huh. Life lessons cost a whole lot. A whole lot. You're going to pay. You're going to pay in time, or you're going to pay in money. But guess what you're going to do? You're going to pay. So you got to decide which one you want to do. And paying in time, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Can I tell you how much you're going to pay like you weigh when you're paying in time? You're going to pay like you weigh. Because by the time you figure this out, dudes are going to be like, oh, she hit a wall. She ain't fresh no more. Well, you come get get this eggplant over here. I got this eggplant for you, but that's all I got for you. Because you done hit a wall. That's what happens when you finally figure out the game. Nobody don't want you no more. You don't want to be that kind of woman. When you finally figure out your own self-worth and how to be and how to enjoy life, nobody's checking for you anymore. You know how many women are in that boat? Do you know how many women are in that boat? Because you paid in time. You paid in time. You need a mentor. That's what I'm here for. You need a mentor. You need somebody to cut the learning curve so you can save yourself some time. So that you don't do all this stuff in your 20s. And then in your 30s, you figure a little bit out, but you still ain't sure. And by the time you get sure, you already postmenopausal. Postmenopausal, and there's no more offers for marriage or anything else coming in. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody's looking at you twice. You don't want to be that. Salkis, I believe sometimes we women talk too much and tell too much to temporary people in our lives. They use it against you. Be mindful with info you share. It helps your self-worth too. I say that all the time. I say it all of the time. That's another thing that we as women do. You know why you're open with people who you shouldn't be open with? Because people that you care about, you're afraid of judgment. And the people that maybe don't know you, strangers or whatever, there's no risk of judgment by pouring out your soul to somebody you don't know. Whereas somebody that you respect and admire, you got to see every day, you tend to withhold with them when in actuality they may be the best ones to talk to. You don't want to do that because then that will shatter your image, and you want to keep your image intact. So you shut your mouth for people who have established relationships with you, and then pour it all out for other people, for random people on the street. If I had a dime for anytime I'm standing on the checkout line somewhere and I hear somebody's whole life story, I'm like, well, what? And they looking like I don't even know why I'm saying all of this. And I'm like, I know why, because you need to purge, but you're fronting. You have an image to protect, and you don't want to tell nobody who actually cares about you. That's another thing too. Women are dumb. We are dumb. I can say it without batting an eye. We are dumb. We're crazy. We're delusional. We're lazy. We're gullible. That's why we feel pain. That's why we feel pain. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing but expecting a different result. There you go. There it is. That's right, Tia. Black pill. Black pill. One day we'll get it. One day you'll get it. I just hope it ain't too so late that it doesn't matter. Some of us get it, and it's so late when we do that it doesn't even matter anymore. You know what a tragedy that is? To finally get the game and you looking around like, okay, well, what am I going to use all this knowledge on? You know what I mean? Because I talk to women like that too. Like, I finally figured it out, and there's nobody I can use all this information on. There's that. There's that. Like, I can't salvage. I can't go back in time. I can't salvage. I can't recoup. There's that. I'm still overcoming all those things. If it wasn't for reading enlightening material and listening to my mom, who is wise and Salkis, I'd be stupid too. Oh, well, hey, enlightenment is the goal. It is the goal. Being a smart woman is the goal. Being emotionally stable is the ultimate goal. That's the goal you all are reaching for. That is the goal you all are reaching for. Beauty, I understand it. I understand it. All of you feel jacked up because someone called you ugly. Someone treated you ugly, somebody called you ugly, somebody called you nothing, and now you feel that life ain't worth living. You're ready to throw in the towel. You think there's no chance in hell because some herb, some twerp, could be your mother, could be your boyfriend, whoever, said that you were nothing. But is it a fact? You're hurt behind that because of why would you be hurt at something that isn't true? Let's start there. Why would you be hurt by something that's said that's a lie? Is there some truth to it? Because that's another thing you'll have to examine too. If they said you're nothing, is it true? We can all sit here and say, girl, don't listen to that. They just jealous, or they just this, they just evil. They got an evil spirit. They going through their thing and all that stuff. But is it true? Are the accusations true? Because there's that. We all have good and bad within us. We all have qualities that affirm us, that we're proud of. And we all have qualities that we you hold it under your hat. You know, try not to let nobody see you. Try not to let the cat out the bag, so to speak, because that just ain't a selling point. We all have a light and a dark side, as they say. And for you to have self-acceptance, it's not in accepting the light, it's in embracing the dark. For you to feel self-esteem and self-worth and like you matter, it's not the good stuff that you got to focus on, like every damn body says. The good stuff is there. It's intact. It's nothing you got to do with that. You ain't got to water that. It can water itself. It can feed itself. It can burp itself. It can wipe its own ass. All the good stuff is self-contained. You set it and forget it. Set it and forget it on the good stuff. It's the bad stuff. It's the stuff that you are ashamed of. Qualities that you feel are not virtuous about you, that need tending to, that need your acceptance, that need for you to embrace it because it ain't going nowhere. And guess what else? The bad part of you is your protector. Talk to me. The good part of you protects no one. The good part of you is gullible. Let's go and experience that. You know, it looks good. It looks sweet. It has glaze on it. It's oozing pudding. I want some of that. Because we're going to feel good after we get that. That's what the good side is. Good side is the feel good. The bad part of you is a part of you that says something is wrong with this dude. How could we tell something is wrong with somebody or something is evil about somebody if we don't have evil in ourselves? How can you spot evil if you don't know it within you? The bad part of you, or the negative side of you, or the lower level of you, the lower self, whatever you want to call it, is the one that steps in and makes sure you don't do stupid shit. You don't hear me though. You don't hear me. The evil part of you is what I'm talking about. Is the part of you that steps in and defends you when it's time. Because it's the evil part of you that sees the evil in other people. Yeah, that. And you walk around here ignoring it, pretending to be good. A lot of y'all front and pretend that you're so gracious and you're so selfless and you're so loving and you don't do anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. And this is why you're sitting ducks. Because you don't utilize your total self. You don't utilize the yin and the yang, the up and the down, the light and the dark. Somebody told you, bury that part. Bury your shadow self. Bury that. Don't let nobody see that. Don't let nobody see that. Where do you think your protection is going to come from? From being nice? From being sweet? From being good? You think that part of you is going to protect you? You're going to make that a meme? You're going to make a meme? Make it a meme. Somebody make it a meme. Put that into a meme. Put it into a meme. Don't get it twisted, y'all. Self-love is not you masturbating yourself. Okay? Self-love has nothing to do with you masturbating yourself. Self-love has to do with just the total acceptance of what you are, good and evil, good and bad. Understand that love has its place, and so does hate. And you will have to use both in this life. You will use both. You will need to use both. And when you don't use both at the appropriate times, you get played. You get used. You get ran over, ran through. You misjudge people. That's what happens when you don't use your dark in your life. You misjudge people. Because why? Because you've suppressed yourself. You suppressed the dark part of you that goes, something is wrong with this dude. Something ain't right. He's a predator. Like, you're scared to even say it. You're scared to even say it. Like, something is wrong. Because by you saying that something is wrong with him, you're saying that something is wrong with you. So you don't want to say, you don't want to think negative, because then you feel like you're negative or you're evil. And, hello, 360 degrees of self-acceptance is how you get self-love. That's how you get it. That is how you get it. I'm at ceramic class listening to you, Salkis. This is everything. You at ceramic class? You better make me a mug. You better make me a mug and carve on it. Put on the mug and send it to me. Sierra, the book I'm reading now is a bit advanced. I'm been on this journey a while. However, a good place to start with baby steps is The Shadow Effect. It's in a library bookstore. Oh, so you're reading a book about the shadow self? I've accepted my vengeful side. It's necessary sometimes. Of course it is. Of course it is. And you could just call it your protector. It ain't even got to be vengeful. You ain't got to give it a bad name. Just say my protective side. My seeing side. My all-seeing side. That's what you do. Because you need it. You need it. To avoid getting used and manipulated and ran through, you need it. Yes, I've read a few. I was very against my shadow self with fake perfection and goodness, being a doormat. Not anymore. LOL. All right. All right. So if you ladies want to work on your shadow self, you better hit me up. Give me a call. Set up a session and talk to a real practitioner. A real practitioner. I had to learn. It took me a long time to realize that just being good wasn't the way. And I was heavily indoctrinated with it. Some of it from others, but a lot of it from me just thinking in my own little logic, well, if I don't have anything else going on for me, if I'm not cute, I better be good. I'm not cute, so I have to be good. I mean, what else about me is going to be valuable if I'm not good? How can I be unattractive and a bitch too? That's what they call a double whammy, isn't it? So I went through a lot of life thinking that, I got to turn the other cheek like Jesus. I got to turn the other cheek so that I can convey some sort of value. And I turned the other cheek, and they slapped me on the other side of my face. That's what happened. I didn't get anything more. I didn't get anything better. That's what happened. I'm calling you next. It's on. I'm doing it. You are a gem, Salkis. Make it happen, sis. Let's go to the catacombs. Let's undress. Stand naked as we were born and confer degrees. Now, I'm not saying, we're going to do no Skype call and just stand naked. I'm just talking like, symbolically here. Strip down. Strip yourself down and build yourself up. That's the way you do it. You strip down to bare bones and then you build yourself up. Because what will happen if you don't do it, ladies, is as you go on in your life, illness is going to come on you. Because this kind of stress will build. It will compound. It'll throw off your hormones. It'll cause high blood pressure. It'll show on you. It'll start to show on your body and in your body as you get on. So we want to nip that in the bud, because you getting a hold of self-acceptance is about your health and well-being just as much as anything else. It's about your health and well-being. A man in your life affects your health and well-being. He should never be a casual element. You should never treat him as a casual element, because he's not. He is changing you genetically. He's changing you emotionally. He's changing you financially. He's changing you on every physical cellular level. That's nothing to be taken lightly. Nothing to be taken lightly. Anybody that you relate to that's in your space on a regular basis they're going to affect you physically. So you have to be about your business. You have to be about your life and preserving your sexy, as they say. Self-preservation. Isn't that what they call it? Self-preservation. You don't get that by just trying to be good or trying to ignore, or listening to what people think. You're not going to preserve yourself by listening to what everybody thinks about you. You're going to age yourself prematurely. You're going to get sick. You're going to get sick by doing that. It's already showing up as illness, emotional illness in a lot of you. And then eventually it's going to stick, and it's going to become a pathology, an actual physical illness. That's the next step. So you go from, I'm just a little emotionally off balance, or maybe a little bit more than a little emotionally off balance, and then it starts showing up as some sort of chronic thing that you can't get rid of, like a yeast infection that keep coming back. You know, why is my immune system always down? It's emotional. It's emotional. And this is why I focus on that here. This is why I focus on that, not that other stuff, which I abhor. All that fluff, inconsequential stuff that doesn't mean a hill of beans at the end of the day. You got a short time to be here to roam the earth. What are you going to do with it? Who are you going to affect? Whose life is going to change? Going to change because of knowing you? Don't you want to affect people on that level, or you just want to be one of those, get up, eat, drink on the weekends, do a job I hate, and rinse and repeat? That's all? That's it? And we call that black girl magic? That's black girl magic? You're never going to get what you want without self-esteem. How do you believe in yourself without self-esteem? How do you choose the right thing or the right person without self-esteem? How do you eat right without self-esteem? How do you take care of a child without self-esteem? Lay the foundation. Create a firm foundation. A lot of you go for the superficial without laying the foundation. You go straight to, well, what I gotta look like, how I gotta dress, how I gotta talk, where I gotta go. And it ain't about none of that. Because you can meet the man of your dreams anywhere. At a bank, at a grocery store, at a swap meet. Anywhere. You too busy doing the pageantry thing. We get caught up in the pageantry. Some women it'll work out for, and a lot of us it won't. And if you've been down, if you've been kicked in this life, this right here, between your temples here, you need to build that. You need to build that. Because that's your black girl magic. Your black girl magic is right in here. It may not be here, but it could be right here, between your ears. Between your ears. And once you get this here, you're going to know how to talk out of here. You're going to know how to present yourself here. Everything else just lines up. Everything else will line up. Everything else will fall into place with a firm foundation. Yes, the goal is self-love and health first, then get a boring man that pays the bills. Make me a stay-at-home mom. Hello! Get you a boring man, or get you a man who wants you, not the other way around. Get a man who wants you, not you wanting him. Why? Because we're emotional. And it's so easy for your want of him to outweigh his want of you. Isn't that how, that's how it ends. Ain't that how it always ends with somebody that you wind up wanting him more than he wants you? That's how many scenarios do you need to know that that's a fact? How many broken hearts do you need to know that is the status quo? That is the arrangement. That's how it goes. I don't care what these chicks out here selling you. I'm talking to you now. I'm talking to you. The one you want, you're going to let him know you want him. You're going to treat him like he's worth more than you. That he's more valuable than you in the relationship. And you're going to act all of that out. And then he's going to mistreat you. He's going to take you for granted. He's going to cheat on you and not take care of you. And then you have no compensation, no consolidation, nothing out the relationship. And then before you know it, be 3-5 years down the line, you a girlfriend, you're never a wife, so you blew time. Time was wasted along with your money. Because women like you give your money. Women like you give your body and your money. You give them access to your car, you riding around your car, don't pay them no. This is what we do. So you want a man who wants you. That's first. Not you wanting him is not the first criteria. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Get over that. Get over that. So, you guys, I got to go. You said not me? All right. I appreciate y'all jumping on this live. And if you are thinking about working with me, stop thinking about it and do it. Put your money where your mouth is. Get the training that you need. Get the insight that you need. Let me guide you and help you figure out what it is you need to figure out so that you don't blow out the rest of this year or the rest of next year trying to piece things together. Oh, I got this, and then you take 2 steps back, and then you find out that you don't move on that, then you take 10 steps back. And that, the whole back and forth that you're going through trying to piece it all together yourself, you don't need to do that. Let me do what it is that I do. Let me guide you. Go to my website. My blog is salkisre.com. That's SALKISRE.com. You can subscribe there. You can also subscribe to my store, iloveherart.com. For those of you who don't know, I am an artist. And if you need to talk to me, I'm working on another book right now and an online course as well. So that's in the works. And launching this Ugly Girls Club website. So I need your stories. I need what you want to contribute. I need even testimonials about what you learned here on the channel are welcome, because I'm going to put all of that stuff up there. All of it, because you ladies are giving some phenomenal feedback. And so however you want to contribute, just send me your email at info@salkisre.com. And yeah, so I thank God for compelling you to help us. I love you. Have a wonderful day. Oh man, sending love your way too. Sending love everybody's way. Like up the chat so that this video is seen on the suggestion lists and other people's boxes because there's other women that need to hear this stuff. Just as you've been helped, other women are looking for this kind of help too. So help me to help them. You guys will help me go viral. I can't do it on my own. Help me to help them. So like up the live, and yeah, I will probably be on here tomorrow. I don't know what time. I really try to schedule, but the schedule never works. So just hit the bell, the notification bell, so that you get the alert. And I will talk to you all soon. Thank you to everyone who donated as well to the super chat. I really appreciate it too. And I'll talk to you guys